Today is not ordinary. It may feel like every other day. The sun has risen, the air moves gently, and people are rushing through their lives unaware. But something sacred has opened in the invisible world surrounding you. A window in heaven. A portal that only appears in divine alignment. And as of this moment, it is open, but not for long. That's why Archangel Michael came forward, his voice trembling not in fear, but in urgency. Because he knows something you don't. He sees what has been written. He sees what is meant for you. And he sees the mistake you are about to make. One that could delay what God has prepared. And that's why you must listen, now, today, July 30th. This is your moment. This is the divine correction that will shift everything. This is the miracle that heaven is begging you not to miss. God has watched you for so long. Not as a judge, but as a loving creator, as a father who molded you with perfect intention. There was never a day that you were not seen. Not one breath you took was hidden from his awareness. He saw the days you were rejected. He watched the times you were told you were too much, or not enough. He stood silently beside you when you broke down, wondering if anything would ever change. He felt the ache in your spirit when you asked, "Why me, Lord?" You've prayed. You've cried. You've waited. And you've hoped. Even when you were tired of hoping, something deep inside you refused to let go. That something wasn't just you. It was heaven breathing into you the endurance to hold on. Because God had something in motion. Something big. Something sacred. Something tailored for you. Today is the day the miracle begins to form. But there's one issue. God says you're making a mistake right now. One that will push the miracle away if it continues. One that will create a delay not because heaven wants to punish you, but because God cannot bless a version of you that doesn't believe in the promise. Archangel Michael has seen the blueprint. He knows what is written on the scroll about your life. And it is magnificent. You were never designed for average. You were never created for lack. And the mistake you're making is not just an action. It's a mindset. A belief that you are still not worthy. That you still have to earn what God already gave. That you still have to chase something that was always meant to chase you. There is a miracle hovering over you, right now. Not months away. Not years in the future. It's here. Close enough to touch. But it will not drop into your hands while you cling to the lie that you're not ready. That you're not enough. That you still need to fix yourself before God can use you. That is the mistake. That is the lie. And heaven is shouting to you now, please don't do this. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't silence the voice of faith with the noise of fear. You've waited too long. You've been faithful through too much. You've survived things others couldn't imagine. This is your moment of release. This is the divine repayment. This is the breakthrough you wept for in secret. Do not turn it away. The reason Michael is speaking today is because the spiritual atmosphere has reached a boiling point. Heaven has been fighting for you behind the scenes, fighting off unseen darkness, fighting through spiritual blockages, fighting to get this moment to align perfectly. There are thousands of angels moving now, clearing paths, breaking chains, pushing your name into the minds of people who will bless you. But you must do one thing. You must stay in alignment. That means you must believe again. You must surrender the outcome and simply trust the promise. You must give God your yes without hesitation. Your mind is battling logic. Your heart is battling history. But your spirit is being ignited right now. Something inside you knows that this isn't ordinary. That this is divine. That this message reached you not by chance, but by eternal orchestration. There is someone in your life that has been influencing your emotions. Their words have pulled you away from your faith. Their doubt has leaked into your confidence. Their fear has become contagious. And though you love them, they are not aligned with your destiny. And if you keep listening to them, you will walk away from the very thing you've prayed for. This is the warning. The miracle is on the table. But the enemy has sent confusion disguised as advice. Be wise. Be discerning. Not all that sounds reasonable is spiritual. Not all that feels safe is of God. Sometimes, God calls you to step out even when it doesn't make sense. That's the test. That's the sacrifice. That's the level of faith required for miracles. Heaven is not confused about who you are. Only you are. And that confusion must end today. Michael is pleading. He has seen the cycle. The loop you keep replaying. Trusting, then doubting. Believing, then backing away. Stepping out, then retreating. This is the pattern the enemy uses to trap you in delay. But God says, this ends now. You cannot walk into the new with an old mindset. You cannot wear chains while praying for freedom. So heaven has made a decision. It will shake the foundation beneath you if it must. It will remove relationships that no longer serve your calling. It will block the phone calls, silence the opinions, and break open the doors that no man can shut. But it needs your permission. It needs your yes. There is a financial miracle coming. But it is tied to your obedience. There is healing being released, but it is connected to the belief that you are already whole. There is a divine connection forming, but it is waiting for you to disconnect from what's draining you. The miracle is never withheld. It is waiting for the alignment of your soul. That is why you feel a stirring right now. That fire you feel in your chest is not fear. It is the Spirit waking you up. It is the Holy Presence surrounding you, confirming that what you are reading is not just words. It is instruction. It is activation. It is a prophetic moment disguised as a warning. God says, stop punishing yourself for who you used to be. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not too late. You are right on time. But time is now sensitive. The divine calendar has shifted. Certain things are being accelerated. If you don't move when God says move, you will miss the momentum. That's why Archangel Michael's voice is louder than usual. Because there's no time to play small. You must recognize that your life is a divine assignment. You were sent here to do something only you can do. And the enemy has been fighting you so hard because he knows what happens when you wake up. This is not a dream. This is not fiction. This is not fantasy. It's truth. Prophetic, raw, divine truth. You are being called higher. The mistake you are making is doubting what heaven has confirmed. But God is patient, and merciful, and full of love. So instead of letting you fall into the trap again, He's reaching out through this very moment, interrupting your life with truth, reminding you of who you are, whispering that you don't have to figure it all out. You just have to say yes. Heaven can carry the rest. Let go of the fear. Let go of the pain. Let go of the idea that you must do it all alone. Help is already on the way. Angels are already assigned. The miracle is already written. But you must be willing to receive it. And to receive, you must release. Release the guilt. Release the shame. Release the version of yourself that they couldn't see. God sees you. Fully. Completely. And He still chooses you. Daily. Constantly. Without hesitation. That's the truth you must anchor into. That's the truth that breaks the mistake you've been making. The next few hours are crucial. Watch what happens. Doors will open. Signs will appear. Peace will return. But only if you step out of the lie that you are disqualified. Only if you stop making the mistake of playing small to fit in rooms that were never worthy of your spirit. You are a temple of power. A vessel of heaven. You carry the divine breath in your lungs. That means nothing about you is ordinary. Not your words. Not your walk. Not your presence. So stop accepting crumbs when God is calling you to the feast. Stop begging for what's already yours. And stop hiding behind humility when God needs your boldness. This is your wake-up call. Not out of punishment, but out of purpose. Heaven is jealous for you. God refuses to let another day pass with you doubting your destiny. The miracle is still yours. But the mistake must stop. You know what it is. God has already whispered it to you. You've felt the conviction. You've seen the signs. Don't ignore them. Don't delay obedience. Don't harden your heart. Heaven will do the heavy lifting. But your yes is the key. Archangel Michael has declared it. The miracle will happen. But you must stop making the mistake of thinking it's not for you. It is. It always was. And it's arriving now. God says this is not a random moment. This is not a coincidence. This is not something you stumbled upon by accident. Today is July 30th. And what I, the Lord your God, am about to do in your life was written long ago in the scrolls of heaven. Archangel Michael is now moving across the realms with one message for your spirit. A big miracle is about to happen in your life. But you are making a big mistake. Please, don't do this. Please, stop. Please, listen. Because everything you've prayed for, everything you fasted for, everything you cried about in silence is standing at the door. But if you take one wrong turn now, it might not find you. You've felt it, haven't you? The sudden pressure in the air, the restlessness in your heart, the dreams that feel like warnings, that's not confusion. That's your spirit trying to shake you awake. That's Archangel Michael crying out, don't do this. Don't turn left when God is saying right. Don't hold on to the very thing heaven is trying to tear away. Because this miracle is not ordinary. It's not something small. This is the kind of miracle that shifts your entire life. This is the moment that heaven scheduled to make your enemies sit in silence. This is the moment that restores what the locusts try to eat. This is the moment where chains break, doors open, and your name is called aloud in rooms you've never walked into. But something is pulling you backward. Something is whispering lies into your soul. A mistake you are about to make. A decision you're justifying with your logic, but your soul is already weeping about it. That person you're thinking about trusting again, that situation you're entertaining again, that choice you're making out of fear instead of faith, that's the mistake. That's the doorway that will cancel your timing. And Michael is standing in front of it with his sword drawn, screaming in the spirit, stop. Don't do this. They don't understand what's at stake. If they knew the size of the blessing, they would never entertain this option. But your flesh is louder than your spirit today. Your emotions are trying to lead. Your exhaustion is speaking louder than your discernment. And so heaven has interrupted your scrolling, your plans, your thoughts, just to place this in front of you. Listen now. Before it's too late, you see, the miracle that's coming isn't just for you. It's for your bloodline. It's for the generations ahead. It's for the restoration of promises that were buried in your family. You are the breaker of cycles. You are the one chosen to restore what others couldn't carry. And that's why it's been so heavy. That's why the attacks increased. That's why confusion rose. Because the enemy saw what was about to be released in your life, and he sent distractions. He sent people you thought you had already healed from. He sent temptations that wore familiar faces. He sent comfort zones dressed as peace. But not everything that feels peaceful is divine. Some peace is just the absence of growth. And some choices are dressed in logic, but they kill your purpose. Today, July 30th, heaven says, don't abort this blessing. You're on the verge of something supernatural. You're closer than you think. You may feel nothing is happening, but in the unseen realm, angels are setting the table. Opportunities are being whispered with your name attached. Contracts, connections, revelations, all lined up. But here's the test. Will you make the mistake of settling? Will you walk back into the cage because you're afraid of how big the sky is? Will you say yes to the wrong person because you're tired of being alone? Will you agree with your fear instead of your future? I know you're tired. I know you're overwhelmed. I know you've been waiting. But don't give up 5 minutes before the blessing. Don't break the fast just before the rain. Don't return to the counterfeit just because the real thing is taking longer than expected. The miracle I'm sending you, says God, is pure. It won't confuse you. It won't manipulate you. It won't drain you. It won't hide from you. It will arrive clearly. But if your arms are full of distractions, you won't have room to receive it. That's why Michael is warning you. Because this is your moment. And we've seen this mistake happen to others. They had the crown in their hands and dropped it for a counterfeit comfort. Don't let that be your story. You keep saying you're waiting on God. But what if God is waiting on you? Waiting for you to finally believe what He said. Waiting for you to finally walk away from what already died. Waiting for you to finally trust that what's ahead is better than what's familiar. You can't carry the old into the new. That's why this moment feels like pressure. That's why everything feels intense. You're being asked to release. To surrender. To trust. Because when the clock strikes, the miracle will be released. But you cannot walk through the new door with the old burden. Listen to the signs. The dreams you've been having. They weren't just dreams. They were previews. The delays you've felt. They were divine protection. The things falling apart around you. They are heaven's construction zones. What feels like destruction is actually preparation. The thing you think you are losing. That's what God is removing to make space. You are not being rejected. You are being redirected. You are not being punished. You are being protected. You are not being abandoned. You are being upgraded. But it won't feel good. It never does when God is pulling something from your clenched fists. But He's not doing it to hurt you. He's doing it to save you. This isn't the first time He's tried to warn you. You've had nudges. Convictions. Little inner feelings you ignored. You've seen repeating numbers. You've felt anxiety around certain names. You've had signs upon signs. But still, you kept trying to rationalize it. Kept calling it love when it was trauma. Kept calling it healing when it was distraction. But now heaven says, enough. I love you too much to let you sabotage yourself again. That's why Archangel Michael is speaking. That's why the atmosphere feels electric right now. Because your life is about to change. And one wrong decision can delay it for years. There's a reason you're the black sheep in your family. There's a reason you see things differently. There's a reason you've never fit in. It's because you were sent to break what they normalized. You were sent to flip the tables. You were sent to do what others were too afraid to attempt. And this miracle, this blessing, this favor, it is your confirmation. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not cursed. You are chosen. But the choosing comes with responsibility. And that means not everyone can go with you. Some connections are seasonal. Some are sent as assignments. And some are sent as distractions. Be discerning. Because right now, the enemy is sending distractions dressed as destiny. Don't fall for it. You keep asking God for clarity, but He's already spoken. The uneasiness in your spirit. That's clarity. The red flags you keep ignoring. That's clarity. The peace that disappears when you think of certain people. That's clarity. You don't need another sign. You need courage. The kind of courage that makes you walk away even when it hurts. The kind that says, I don't understand everything, but I trust my God. The kind that lets go, not because it's easy, but because you know obedience is better than comfort. Today is the 30th of July. This date was written. This message was scheduled. You were meant to read these words before you made the decision. Before you walked into that room, before you responded to that message, before you said yes to the thing heaven said no to, God knew this moment would find you, and He made sure this message would stop you. Because what's coming is too big to be compromised. What's ahead is too divine to be diluted. You're stepping into prophecy, into fulfillment, into restoration, into divine fire. Archangel Michael is standing at the threshold. His sword is glowing with divine urgency. He's not here to scare you. He's here to protect what you've prayed for. He's here to keep you from making a mistake that would wound your soul. He's here because your next step matters. He's here because the realm of heaven knows what's on the other side of your yes, and they don't want you to miss it. Listen. Breathe. Think. Remember who you are. Remember the God who carried you this far. He didn't save you just to watch you fall. He didn't pull you out just to let you drown. You are covered. You are protected. But you must obey. Don't send that message. Don't take that call. Don't go to that place. Don't say yes just because you're lonely. Don't agree just because you're scared. Wait. Watch. Listen. And trust. Because what's coming is better than what's gone. There is a scroll being unsealed in heaven right now with your name on it. And the instructions say, "They're next." Release the blessing. Release the restoration. Release the divine marriage. Release the new home. Release the increase. Release the healing. Release the inheritance. But there's a warning stamped across the bottom. If they make this mistake, delay the release. That's how serious this is. That's how close you are. One decision. One conversation. One act of faith or one act of fear. That's all it takes. Choose wisely. You are not alone. You are surrounded by angels. You are being watched over by Archangel Michael. He is roaring over your life right now. The heavens are backing you. The light is surrounding you. You will not fall unless you walk back into what God already freed you from. Don't betray your future for the comfort of your past. Your miracle is here. Your name is being called. Don't silence it with disobedience. You've waited too long. You've fought too hard. You've cried too many tears. You're too close to give up now. This is your divine moment. This is the day. This is the hour. And God is shouting from the throne. Don't make this mistake. Please. Listen. Now. God says, This moment was written in the scrolls of heaven long before your soul took its first breath in the womb of time. On this day, July 30th, a divine trumpet has sounded across the heavens, and Archangel Michael stands at the edge of eternity, weeping and pleading for your attention. A miracle, yes, a very big miracle is about to unfold in your life. But something is not right. Something you're doing, even without realizing, is pulling you away from the divine timing you've waited so long for. Listen now, for this message is not ordinary. It was carved into light for your name only. Archangel Michael is hovering near you right now. Can you feel the stillness? Can you sense the tension in the air? That's not fear. That's divine urgency. He is not angry, but his mighty wings tremble because he sees a mistake you are about to make, something that could block a blessing that was supposed to be. Why?